All right, well, moving on to number 69 with 110 points. He came in on everybody's list again. So he came in at Andretti's list at 70. He came in at Mongoose's list at 70, 55 on JC's, and he came at 99 on mine. And that is the Ultimate Warrior.
What should I do? Lay on my back and let them run over me with lawnmowers? Load the spaceship with the rocket fuel.
Yeah, listen, man. As a character, the Ultimate Warrior is top 5 all time. With a bullet ain't lying. It's the truth. All of my friends that I grew up with, he's their favorite wrestler. Okay, it's not Hulk Hogan. It's the Ultimate Warrior. However, for people that actually like wrestling, all right, and didn't just like it whenever they were 7, there's a lot of shortcomings with Mr. Hellwig. And the reason that I have him in the 70s is because he deserved to be on the list because the character was that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a whole lot of watching stuff that I liked when I was younger in the last 7 or 8 years. And the best stuff with the Ultimate Warrior was his match with Savage, which that's Savage's doing, and his match with Hogan, which that's Hogan and all of the production coming up to it's doing.
Keep in mind, Patterson was the referee in that match. So Patterson and Hogan put together a hell of a match for that.
That's what I mean. And then even the Rick Rude stuff, that makes me put Rick Rude higher. Nothing made me put the Warrior higher. It made me put other people that worked the Warrior higher because he was that big of a deal. And he was that big of a deal because he would run to the ring with the best entrance music ever. And he would shoulder block, gorilla press, splash, match was over, right? That was the way that it was. And so all of the other stuff, the crazy stuff, not even being factored into this. That's why I have him where he is. But look, man, he deserves to be here. He really does. He deserves to be here. So
the only other thing I would say is just, never a student of the game. He got into it for the money, but perfect time, perfect place for that guy. Right where he was in the Cosmos, man, right there at that perfect time, perfect place. And the stars just aligned for that guy. One of the most memorable characters ever, for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree that
that worked for you, John. So if you wouldn't mind, I do want a little bit of a deep dive. So me and Andretti, like I had an Ultimate Warrior, pajamas and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was in Hills.
Yeah, right.
So like you were introduced to the Warrior no earlier than Hogan seeing him in the reflection of a fake mirror. Tell me about your Warrior experience here, John.
I don't even remember any of that. So like my Warrior experience didn't come until like I didn't really dive into Ultimate Warrior until he came back to have the induction into the Hall of Fame. So all of the bad stuff had already happened, and all I ever heard was bad things about Ultimate Warrior. And then when I go back and watch Ultimate Warrior, I can't unsee like the things that I've heard about him.
That destruction or whatever, self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior thing, that is the best. That hit piece is better than the government released against Al-Qaeda, brother. It's insanely good at being like, oh, here's all the reasons why this guy sucks. And I don't think that you're alone there.
Correct. And they're all correct.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man, is that you want to talk about just painting over everybody's legacy or memories for his legacy. Like that's fascinating, John, because that's where that started. Right. It was that self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior thing.
Yeah. So like my whole thing is like, I know that he deserves to be on the list, and literally going back and watching all of the WrestleManias, like that match at WrestleMania 6 was huge. And then like he's in my
The WrestleMania 7 match is better. Like the WrestleMania 6 was huge. The 7 match is better. That's his best match, in my opinion.
Yes, and then you get the rigmarole that happens at SummerSlam '92, and then all of that stuff. But I then he's in my like biggest train wreck matches. I love my guilty pleasure match is the Halloween Havoc with him and Hogan. That's my guilty pleasure. I can sit down and watch that match. I don't even care. I know that it is a dumpster fire, but it warms my heart. I love it, and I literally sit down every Halloween and watch that match. I love it. So for me, he absolutely deserves to be on the list, but I didn't want to give him too high, and I think I probably put him a little too low. He came in at 99 on my list, so obviously I literally
you have him on. Like anybody that gets on,
yes,
that's so yeah. That you're good. You're good.
But
the guy for me, he's a part of my early wrestling love, where I would go to my neighbor's house and watch wrestling, and the Warrior was always a part of that. And I for better or for worse, in retrospect, looking back on the guy's career and everything, like he's always going to have a place in my heart because he is one of the guys that got me into wrestling. He really is. So you got to give credit for that.
And you can see the Ultimate Warrior on Hot Shots WrestleMania next week.
Nice.
He drops.
Huh?
Is he going to take 7 elbow drops, kick out?
Oh yes, absolutely.
And I would say too, one of the best entrance themes probably ever.
He probably has one of the,
that was the first thing that was the first thing I mentioned to me is that music's insane, the entrance is insane, shaking the ropes is insane. When it was literally entrance music, shaking the ropes, shoulder block, gorilla press, splash. But you can't do that forever. You know what I mean? You can't. So.
And the as far as accolades go with Ultimate Warrior, he doesn't have a lot. I mean, he has a lot of the bad ones. If you're looking for absolute burials in the Wrestling Observer, he has all of them. So he has a lot of worst wrestler, worst work match, worst interview, worst feud. It's all of the bad stuff.
On interviews a lie. That's them being jerk offs.
Yes.
Because if you want to tell me to take the plane to a nosedive. That's how you do an interview.
But he was one-time WWF champion. He was a 2-time Intercontinental champion. And he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. He'll be remembered forever. They have the Warrior Award. He is cemented in their legacy forever. Especially with how everything kind of ended with his life and all that. So, yeah,